What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about how long it'll take to beat the entirety Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So I thought this would be kind of a fun video to make. I know, obviously, this game, or these games, all already exist, right? So I want to go over the how long to beat time for each of these games, go over some of the DLC, and try to combine them into one big number. This is going to be a massive game, or massive, I guess, experience. As I've said before, I've played 2 and 3. I've never played 1. I've also never played the DLC for any of them. I've watched certain DLCs for Mass Effect 3, but I've never played any of them. So a lot of this, I guess maybe less than half, is going to be a new experience for me. But I think this is a good idea to do just for anybody kind of jumping in to see, okay, how long am I going to be investing my time into this game and this franchise? And you're only paying $60 for so many hours worth of gameplay. So I think it's going to be, I think this is honestly going to be a phenomenal game. So before I get too far in, make sure if you haven't already, you guys are subscribed, have the bell icon turned on, give this video a like, definitely helps this video out, and we're pushing for 50k subscribers, and we're getting so close, so your support definitely helps. And final thing, if you guys want to support me on my second channel, much smaller, I only do a video a day over there, but it's called Podcast Now Plus. Link for it is in the description below if you guys want to check it out. Okay, so I've mentioned this site, and by the way, I love making these videos. This is kind of a new series I started probably a few weeks ago with games like Returnal and Resident Evil. I think I did maybe one game before that, and I've loved every single time I've talked about, the length of games. Who thought that this could have been a series that I kind of pioneered? And so I'm going to be continuing it, but technically, I didn't, because there's already a website called howlongtobeat.com. I've talked about it before. I absolutely love this website. I go on this website for literally every single game that I play just to kind of see. I don't actually participate in it, and maybe I should, because that's literally how it gets the data that it has, is by people basically volunteering it. So you can basically look at the main story and extras, and then completionist. I really look at main story plus extras. Completionist is honestly if you really want to do literally everything, if you want to experience everything, if you want to get, I would say if you're kind of going for the platinum, if you're trying to get all the achievements, stuff like that, that's what you kind of look to for completionist. I guess it kind of, especially for a game like Mass Effect, would probably take into account playing it more than once to get the different endings, okay? So that's just something to keep in mind. Mass Effect, the first game, main plus extras, 28.5 hours. Mass Effect 2 and 3, main plus extras, is 35.5 hours. But honestly, you have a lot. You have DLCs. You have the Citadel DLC, which is actually the DLC I remember watching for Matt. I think that's kind of regarded as one of the better DLCs. 5 hours for main plus extra. From Ashes DLC, 1 hour. Mass Effect 2, Lair of the Shadow Broker. That's a really popular DLC. 2.5 hours. The Normandy Crash Site DLC, 30 minutes. The Price of Revenge DLC, an hour. Stolen Memory DLC. And you can just keep going. There's the Omega DLC, all of these different DLCs, and they kind of range anywhere between 2 and 3 hours, I would say, is the minimum. So, I mean, right there, you have 70 hours pretty much between Mass Effect 2 and 3. You add Mass Effect to it. I would say, let's just go really nice and say you're looking at around 100 hours for those 3 games if you're trying to do everything. And then you add all the DLCs up, and I'd honestly argue that would probably add close to 15 or so hours to the game. So if you're like me, and by the way, I expect to do this. I mean, I have a really hard time beating game. Mass Effect 2 and 3 were actually exceptions to that rule, because for a long point of my life, I would say from when I was like 13, 14 to literally just a few years ago when I was like 22, 23, I did not beat games. I beat like very small handfuls of games, really the ones that I was the most passionate about. But I would say 80 to 90% of games I bought, I did not beat. I beat 2 and 3. And I expect to do it again. I expect to beat Mass Effect 1, and I want to experience the whole thing. Like I said, I think the thing with me that puts me in a really, I think, awesome spot, not to like gloat, because it's not really gloating, I never played 1, so I get to experience that all for the first time. The DLCs, I know some of them, but I haven't, really experienced them, so there's that. And then I've honestly forgotten a lot of the lore, and I remember the characters, I remember like the basic story, but I've forgotten like a lot of background stuff with Mass Effect 2 and 3, and I kind of hate myself for that, because I remember just loving it so much back then, and I could like, I was into that stuff. I was able to talk about the different species and all this different stuff. I was able to do that back then, and I can't do it now. And so I'm really looking forward to jumping in and, experiencing that all again. So I fully expect to put close to, if not over, 100 hours. So I would say that's probably, I mean, if you subtract a little bit of time from 1, 2, and 3, say it's not going to take you 100 hours, but then you add the DLCs in there, I would say you're looking at probably like a 95 to 105 hour game. And really, I think it could stretch even higher. I saw some sites try to add it in a certain way where you could maybe get in the mid 100s, like maybe even close to 150. I think if you're literally trying to platinum all these games, right, if you're trying to get all the trophies, do everything for every game, every DLC, yeah, you're looking at probably close to 200 hours, which, I mean, come on. In terms of collections, in terms of these kind of remasters that have, groups of games, I don't really know how you beat. Now, obviously, Mass Effect's not for everybody, so I get that this isn't the perfect thing for everybody. But I mean, if you're into Mass Effect, how does it not get better than this? That you pay $60, a one-time price, and you get literally all of this stuff, in one kind of collection. So I love. It's kind of like the only one that can beat this, I think, would be like the Kingdom Hearts collections. When Kingdom Hearts comes with like 500 games and they're each like 20 to 40 hours, and it's just so long. That's probably a comparison. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've expected it to take me, like I remember the 2 games, 2 and 3, taking me around 70 hours combined. So I'm ready to do that again. Add Mass Effect 1. Honestly, I think I'm going to hit 100 hours just with those 3 games. And the DLC, again, 10, 15 hours maybe max. And that's completely cool because Ratchet and Clank comes out in a few weeks, and all these other games that I'm hoping I'll be done with Mass Effect to be able to play them. You know what? I'm not going to rush my playthrough of Mass Effect. I'm going to take it nice and slow and easy. And by the way, last thing I'll say before I end this video, I've covered Mass Effect a lot, actually. I'm going to be covering it, this upcoming week, and when the game comes out, we're going to be doing all that stuff. Thank you to those, because I've seen numerous people saying, like, I can't wait for you to experience Mass Effect 1. I know Mass Effect 1, to a lot of people, is their favorite one. So I hear you. I've seen what you've been saying, that you really are excited for me to be able to play it, and I'm excited too. I greatly appreciate your guys' support, by the way. So, like I said, I'm going to be covering Mass Effect more. We'll go over the review scores when they come out next week, all that stuff. There'll be videos when the game is actually out. I'll try to live stream all 3 of these games. There'll probably be live streams over the next several weeks. So loads of Mass Effect content coming. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you have the bell icon turned on so you see all those videos. Again, give this video a like. Definitely helps the video out. And a final thing, again, if you want to subscribe to my second channel, Podcast Now Plus is its name. Links in the description, or obviously you can just look it up on YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.